This is R.D. Sharma Solution, Class 12, Chapter 18, Maxima and Minima, exercise is 18.1. So this question, now let me show you the reference first. That is the reference solution. You'll say, why is the answer first? Why is no explanation? Just wanted to show that this is the whole solutions. If you have not gone through the chapter properly, then this will be quite moderately difficult to observe. So let's start with the basic to actually go and solve any question in this chapter. See, first thing comes in maxima and minima is that we have an interval, say a to b. There are two numbers in which between we have only the interval is in between them. Now we say that there is a value in between this interval a and b. A and B are inclusive. Let us call it as C. Now this C, we are saying that the function, the value of the function from A to B is always greater than equal to the function of the C value. That is, fx can be greater than equal to fc and fx can be less than equal to fc. Fc is simply the value in between A and B, which lie between A and B. C belongs to A and B. So when you have the upper limit and when you have the lower limit, the upper limit, that is the fx cannot go beyond that fc. For example, we have certain value -3 and 3, call it as A and B. And when we say that the function is always greater than or equal to fc is say 3. So it will always be greater than that. So whether it will be minimum or maximum, same here. The value of the function is always less than or equal to the value of the function at c. C can be any value between, say, some interval. So if we have a graph like this and we say that this graph is not going below this line is nothing but a line which is parallel to x-axis, which is the y value, because y is equal to fx. So this function has the lower limit or the least value as fc. Fc is what? Fx is y only. We are talking about a y value. If you make a function like this or draw a function like this and it is not going beyond this line, this again line is parallel to x-axis and we are talking about a y value, that means the highest value of this function is this line, which is the y value. So that is how the minima and the maxima is defined. Most of the time when you have a minima, there cannot be any maxima. When you have a maxima, there will not be any minima. If you have a function with odd power, it will not be any minima or maxima. So these are all the concepts which you will know when we will solve the questions one by one. One more thing which comes is the perfect square. How to make a perfect square. For example, you have ax square plus bx plus c will make the perfect square. There are certain signs that is there exist for all. This is the belong to sign. This all you have to learn so that you can answer the question properly. Alright. Now you have this function fx equals to this. Actually a question has certain misprint. So I'll write the actual question, which is 4x square, and then we have 4x square. Along with that we have minus 4x also. So I have corrected the question. This is the question we have to solve. Fx is equal to 4x square minus 4x plus 4. Now there are two different people. One who is a beginner, the other one who has moderate experience or who have done question like this. This function fx is basically the y value. So whatever value of x will be placed, there will be a certain value of y. That is how we plot on the Cartesian coordinate system, and then there will be a flow of these lines x, y, x, y, x, y. These are all the points, and when you join the points, there will be a line or a curve. This can come. So function is here in this case the quadratic equation. So how are we going to find out the minima or maxima of this function? So one thing is very clear to us in the previous chapter or in mathematics. It's quite clear to everyone that any value with an even power, that is x raised to, x to the power 4, x to the power 8, all these are even. That means the function will be even function. X to the power even is even. X to the power odd is an odd function. That is, you will get a negative out of it if it is a negative. If you have minus x to the power odd, it will be negative. X to the power even, if it is negative or positive, it doesn't matter. It will always be positive. That concept has to be used, and that will be used a lot in this solution. So we have 4x square minus 4x plus 4. And as I said, this can be made as a perfect square, because I told you perfect square is going to come into picture, and there will be the x to the power x to the raised to the even power. All this is going to come. So there are two ways in which we can make the factor. First thing is the exact factor is not possible. That is, you will not get some x minus y whole square here, or a minus b whole square here. So this 4x square minus 4x, as I said, there are two ways you can do. First way is for those who know this question, they have done it. So this 4x square minus 4x plus 1 is 2x minus 1 whole square, and I have written last 4 as 1 plus 3. Now you'll see, oh, how this has been done, and you need certain explanation, right? So let's do the way you and I will do. The left one is there, but we have to do what? First of all, take the exponent, the coefficient of x square outside. So I've taken 4 outside from x square and x. The constant I have placed it here only. Now how to make the perfect square of this one? See, always see what is the coefficient of x. If you have ax square plus bx plus c, when you take a outside, that is a is the coefficient of x square. When we take a outside, it will be x square plus bx by a plus c by a. Then in order to make this as perfect square, we divide this by 2. That is b by a divided by 2. So it will be b by 2a. Now square it and add it and subtract it. If you will add it, you have to subtract it by yourself. So same thing, same logic we are going to apply here. What is the coefficient of x, which is -1? You can take it as 1 because eventually we are going to square it. So the coefficient of x is -1 or 1, you can say, divided by 2 and square it. So it will be 1 by 2 whole square or -1 by 2 whole square. Now add and subtract this 1 by 2 whole square. So x square minus x plus half square and minus half square. This we have done by ourselves, and there will be 4. See, the both factorization are similar, or they will give you the same result. So on the right, half whole square minus half whole square. So a minus b whole square we have to make. So let us take x square plus half square minus x. Because if you see here, a square minus b, this a square plus b square minus 2ab formula is there. If you see x minus half whole square, it will be x square plus half whole square minus 2 into 1 by 2. Okay, so 2 gets cancelled. So you got this x square, you got this minus x, and you got half square also. So you can just write this x square minus x plus half square as x minus half whole square. And there is negative half already there, negative half square, which is -1 by 4, you can say. And then we have a plus 4 outside also. So this plus 4 is outside this one. Now multiply 4 inside. So it will be 4x minus half whole square minus 4 into 1 by 4 will be 1. This is 4. So we'll get 4x minus half whole square minus 3. Now if you multiply the whole equation by 2, you will get this 2x minus half 1. Okay. But we're not going to do that right now. We got this 4 into x minus half whole square minus 3. So I'll show you the reference of the first part, which is 2x minus 1 whole square plus 3. But I will solve it using 4 into x minus half whole square minus 3. Because what perfect square be made in different ways, which I showed you here also. Left it is the perfect square, right also it is perfect square. So we'll do what we have done, 4 into x minus half whole square plus 3. And I told you that anything to the power even, which is square, to the power 4, to the power say 16 or 16,000 or whichever, always anything to the power even is always greater than or equal to 0. It can never be less than 0. Multiply 4 both the sides. So 4 into x minus half whole square is greater than or equal to 0. We have multiplied both sides by 0. By 4. Now add 3 on both the sides. So when you add both sides by 3, so on the left you have the actual function. It was originally 4x square minus 4x plus 4, but we have made it as 4 into x minus half whole square plus 3. And when we made it as greater than or equal to 3. So this is the function. Fx was the original function. We didn't change it at all. We just made a perfect square out of it so that we can get certain thing out of it, minimum and maximum. So 4x square minus 4x plus 4 is nothing but 4 into x minus half whole square plus 3, and which is greater than or equal to 3. So fx function is greater than or equal to 3. When it is greater than or equal to 3, that means the minimum value is 3 only, because you are talking about anything above than 3. So 3 is the lowest value, and you go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, crore lakh, like that, go up to infinite. So this is the minimum value of this function. The function cannot have a value lower than 3 in any case. So this is the minimum value. This is the minima. I hope you got the idea. So minimum value of this function is 3. When are you going to get it? When x minus half is 0, because 4 into 0 plus x minus half equals to 0, but that means 4 into 0. So you'll get 3 on the left also. So you'll get a 3 of this 3 in this function only when you have x as half. So x as half will give you minimum value, which is 3 here. Now the second comes is you got the minimum value. What is the maximum value? First of all, it can be 1 million, 10 million. it goes up to infinite. So we don't have any highest value. It is not possible from us to in this question to get the highest value. We got the lowest value, but the highest value is not defined. But this function can be shown in as a graph in the Cartesian coordinate system. You just have to put certain value of x in order to get certain value of y. But we just got that the minimum value of is 3. What is the minimum value? 3, which is y only. Y equals to fx. So when you put x as what? Half. When you put x as half, you get the value as y as 3. So on the x coordinate, just see half, that is a value between 0 and 1. The y is 3. When you extend this graph or this graph line, it goes up to wherever we don't know. This is just the limitation of screen here. But if you see a whole canvas panorama of the world, this graph can go anywhere. So there is no maximum value, maximum limit which can define, but we can clearly define the lower value. So this is the reference solution for you. You can follow this. You can write all those things like the greater than equal to, for all, there exist. So first thing is to make the perfect square. Next one is negative x minus 1 whole square plus 2 on r. Every time you will get, or most of the time you are going to get this r. R is the superset. All other set will fall into this real number. That is, integer is a real number. Every integer is a real number. Every decimal number is a real number. Every kind of number is will fall in the real number line. So now this question is already having a perfect square. So we don't have to make a particular expression as a square or something like that. So you know that anything to the power even will always be greater than equal to 0, because negative square is positive only and positive square is positive only. So this x minus 1 whole square is greater than equal to 0. This is what we got from this equation. But we have to make this equation, so multiply both sides by -1. When you multiply both sides by -1, what are you going to get? The inequality sign is going to change. So this will be x minus 1 whole square. This inequality sign will change. It will be less than equal to, because right, we multiplied by 0 with -1, so it will be 0 only. Now let us add 2 on both the sides. So minus x minus 1 whole square plus 2 is less than equal to 2. And what is the left one? Left one is nothing but the function which we are dealing with. So that function is less than equal to 2. That is, the highest value of this function can be 2. That is, fx is, there is a c belonging to that real number which is higher than the any value which you put in this function. So we are talking about any value which is this y is nothing but this function only. So you got the value of y. That is, 2 is the y value over which this function is not going to go. So the highest possible value of this function is 2, because this function is less than equal to 2. Anything which is less than equal to certain thing, that certain thing is the highest value of that function. In the previous question, we got 3, which is the minimum value. That function cannot go below that 3. In this question, the function cannot go beyond 2. That is, 2 is the highest limit. So 2 is the maximum value, and when it goes from 2, means it has to come down from 2. It can go to 1, -1, -10 lakh, like that. So it will go up to -infinity. So the highest value is 2, but the lowest value cannot be computed because it is undefined. Infinity you don't, because in this question it is not possible for us to know. But right, so this is the graph of this question. Now you see, same thing we have done. This is a function. Okay, when are you going to get 2? When x minus 1 is going to be 0, because x equals to 1. When you put x as 1, this whole will be 0 square plus 2, so you'll get a 2. So when you are going to get the maximum value as 2? When x is equal to 1. This is also clear. So see the graph, take x equals to 1. Here you will get maximum value, which is the y value, as 2. So this is 2. At 1, x equals to 1, you will get the maximum value as 2, which is the y value, because y equals to fx. You put x as 1, you get y as 2, which is the maximum value. So this function is not going beyond 2. So the highest possible value is 2 at x equals to 1. Now the second question arises is, what is the minimum value? But there is no minimum value here. See, extend this slide to wherever you want. It will go up to infinite. Because if you start with 2, try to go to the negative side of the number line, you will now not find any position to stop, because you will keep on walking, running till negative infinity is reached. So I hope you got the idea. This is the minimum value most of the time you will get the parabola, hyperbola like this. Now this function fx equals to mod of x plus 2. See, first thing is mod is a factory, modulus is a production agency, where whichever value you give, it will always output a positive value. So modulus is a factory to create positive values. It can only create positive values. You put negative 2, you'll get 2. You put positive 2, you'll get 2 only. This is okay with you? So this modulus value will always be greater than equal to 0. It can be 0. It can never be negative. So I am just talking about the modulus sign. Modulus sign will always be greater than equal to 0. You put anything inside. I am putting x plus 2. You put anything inside. It will always be greater than 0. Okay, you got the concept? This mod x plus 2 is greater than equal to 0. So this is a real number. So x should belong to the real number. That is important. You have to write it. So this whole is greater than equal to 0. So 0 is the lowest limit. This function is going above 0. It can never come below 0. So this function will never be seen in the negative quadrant of the y-axis. It will always be on the positive y quadrant. Y is in the quadrants where y is positive. And you have to go from 0 till infinite. So the lowest possible value is 0 and you can go up to infinite. So this function fx is greater than equal to 0 when you have a value which you can go above 0. So that is the minimum value. So 0 to infinite you can go. So maximum we don't know because you can go up to any level. You give me a certain highest number, I'll just add 1 to it and I'll say that is the highest value. You'll again add 1, I'll again add 1. So we can go on and on. And when we will get this function as 0, highest value, when x is equal to minus 2. X plus 2 equals to 0, x equals to minus 2. So at x equals to negative 2, you will get y as 0. And that function will always be above that fx, which is 0. So the discussion we just had, this is modulus x plus 2, modulus thing is always greater than equal to 0. We just have to talk about the 0 value, which is nothing but what is the 0 value? Y 0 is basically x-axis only. Y equals to 0, y is equal to fx. When you get y equals to 0, you are talking about x-axis. So see, this graph, blue lines are above this y equals to 0, which is the x-axis. And at what point you are going to get it as 0? When x is equal to minus 2. So now you see, where is x equals to negative 2? This is x equals to negative 2 and here you got x equals to negative 2, you got this function as 0. And these lines are always above 0. So the minimum value possible of this whole scenario is 0 only. So this x plus 2, y equals to x plus 2 line is on the right. Y equals to negative x plus 2 is on the left. Sin 2x plus 5 on R. We'll take this on the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much and take care of yourself.